Welcome to another episode of the How'd I Get Here podcast, the podcast for positivity, progression, and finding your own path, and chicken broth. It's your co-host, Mr. Brown, Broken Ugly, Jake. What up? What up? How y'all doing?
It's your boy Spence, King Aquarius, wealth strategist. Wait, chicken broth?
I just felt it was appropriate.
It's the
for,
chicken drip.
Yeah. Wow, that's disgusting. Before we
Saw it. All right, go ahead.
we ain't gonna do that. Before we dive into the nitty gritty of everything that we do, hello,
Hola.
beautiful young lady. We brought a friend with us tonight. What do you want to be called? Shay?
A
Shayla? What do you wanna
mixologist?
go? Mixologist.
Shayla, Shay for short.
Shayla, Shay for short. Shay the mixologist.
See.
Woo. What up, Shay?
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about yourself before we dive into this.
I don't know, not much to say.
Come on.
A little bit about myself. I'm a bartender and a student and a life lover. And
What are you going to school for?
I'm currently studying social services.
Oh, what do you want to do with that?
I don't know. That's a good question. Time will tell. I don't know.
Heard you.
What does life lover mean?
I don't know. I just love life. I like having a good time. I like positive vibes.
Mm.
You know,
You're a world traveler.
we can say that.
You wouldn't say you're a world traveler?
No, I actually just took my first trip out of the country last month.
Really?
That was my first time leaving the U.S.
I feel like I always see you on trips.
You see me traveling nationally, not internationally.
Ah, gotcha.
Now the secret's out, man. Damn.
Yeah,
Can we
I didn't mean to
cut
throw
this?
you under the bus.
It's all good. You gotta start sometime.
Hey,
Facts.
that's what's up, though. Better late than never. Well, shit. We like to start every episode with a question that ain't got nothing to do with everything. But before we do that,
I was going to say, we do have an announcement. Is that what we're going to? The announcement?
yeah.
Did I cut you off? I'm
Well,
sorry.
yeah.
My bad.
I was going to
What
do
you
it real smooth, and then you just cut me the fuck off.
All right, so we're going to cut back.
So, yeah, we normally do. Sponsors are going crazy right now. We're about to lose shit. So, guys, with all that being said, every other week we are at the Key Bookstore, an amazing Black-owned establishment right in the heart of Hartford, Connecticut. They are starting crowdfunding campaign that is actually already live. You can find it at keybookstore.com. They're trying to raise $350,000 to help with logistics, staffing, and upgrade the features and grow to the next level. And you guys see the How'd I Get Here podcast has grown exponentially.
Great word.
Thank you. You taught me that word. So basically,
Teamwork.
we got that done with you guys' help. So help Key Bookstore get to that next level.
Dope. Also, on April 16th, the Key Bookstore is launching their premier book fair party club, similar to the Bored Ape Yacht Club. You'll need the NFT to attend this version of your childhood scholastic book fair. And just so you know, they're going to be having drinks, books, metaverse experiences, exclusive merch, and more.
It's like your childhood coming to life in a sense. You know what I mean? What happened?
Someone tried to mouth something to me, and I can't read lips.
Well, we've got about an hour to get that shit right. But no, you remember we used to have a lot of fun as kids at those bookstores looking at shit we couldn't afford. But I feel like this is going to be different. I'm excited for that adult book fair to happen. But shit, we normally start off with a question, Shay, to dive into things. The big guy. Hold on. Before we get there, how do you feel about the name King Aquarius? We ask all our guests.
Facts.
Don't be afraid to offend him.
It's very confident.
Ooh, you're the first
you.
person to say that.
Gang.
Why is it? What's confident about it? Because he self-proclaimed himself as king.
I mean, honestly, I feel like if you look at yourself like a king, you call yourself a king, like that's confidence right there.
So how do you
Talk that shit, queen.
how do you differentiate between confidence and cockiness? This is me just playing devil's advocate.
I mean, to me, I think it's pretty obvious. Cockiness, you think you're better. Confidence, you know you're great.
Ooh.
Like,
He said, we got people taking notes, but I'm going to take notes myself.
yeah, right?
Word, no, that's You're the first person to give that great answer in all the time we've done. I appreciate that. Big guy, what's the question for today?
Got it. So I saw a video that's actually pretty old. I saw the video like a couple weeks ago, but I saw it again and actually watched it. So this is going to be for both of you. I feel like one of us is going to be a little biased. But are high-earning women less attractive?
I saw that.
Who's going to be the biased one?
I'm a woman.
I feel like she would keep it funky, no?
I
guess we'll
can't
see.
find any reason to say that they would be less attractive.
Why would a high earning woman be less attractive?
So what the video was saying was that he was like talking to some woman, and she was like, yeah, you know, I have this I have this in place, I have this, like I don't need anything other than a partner and like someone to have children with.
Like that's all the woman said?
Something like that,
Okay.
yeah. And he was like, well, you all set. Like it's almost like she brought too much to the table.
Because she didn't bring enough.
Ooh.
So is that what it is?
So his cockiness didn't fill up the confidence.
So would it be appropriate to say that, and this is not what I'm saying, this is me just like dissecting the question that you said, a woman who makes a lot is intimidating.
Is it less? Oh, so intimidating.
I guess that's
less
me just,
attractive.
I guess that's me kind of changing the question around, because a woman who already has a lot, right? She don't need your money. She just needs your time, love, and affection. You get what I'm saying? So maybe for a man who is weaker, who feels like they can't provide that, right, might look at you like, damn, can I really keep up with that? So maybe that's intimidating.
What do you need me for? Yeah.
You know?
That's interesting. I think looking at it as like a primitive standpoint, like I feel like in like let's say Africa, right? When lions are looking to like mate with the female lion, right? Like they puff their chest up, they like, show like what they're bringing to the table. Like, no, this is like I'm the king of the jungle. Like this is my shit.
So
now.
the man wants to feel like he is in charge.
Yeah, and I feel like her being high earning and bringing so much to the table, like you say, is like, damn, like I probably doesn't have he can't compete with that. Like you outdid me here.
Could you date a girl that made more money than you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Not for long, but yeah.
What does that mean?
Because eventually I'm gonna like outwork her. I think a partner. I think a partner would be cool to be like have a like
it's a competition.
Yeah, like a healthy competition to the household.
What about motivation, not competition?
It's synonymous.
You think?
Yeah, like I'm motivated to compete with you. This competition is motivating. To me, that's how I see it.
But if you guys are one, it shouldn't be
Like trying to outdo the other.
But it
Right.
also is like relatively speaking, because if we look at Jay-Z and Beyonce, like doesn't Beyonce gross more than he does?
Sure.
Yeah,
I think-
a thought of like whoever made that statement, in order to think about it like they're not wrong or like why they think that. I think that statement could apply to a certain type of man, and maybe it's just the type of man that wants a woman that he can take care of, that he wants a woman that kind of needs him in a way.
it's giving codependent.
But if that's what he likes, or that's what like his desires are in a woman, then I can understand why a woman that brings so much to the table would be less attractive. But I don't think that as like a blanket statement. I don't think a lot of people would really agree with that.
Yeah, they, from the comments, they were getting ripped apart.
It shouldn't.
But everyone there agreed with him. Like there was 3 men there, and they were all like,
They want a woman they can take care of.
Is it take
That's not
care of?
sufficient. They don't want a woman that can hold her own. They want a woman that needs that support.
So to your point, is it a woman you can take care of or a woman you can control?
I think to them, there's a control factor of maybe they feel like they would be the ones controlled if she. I don't know. To me, it's just like
No, because you and I are dating, right? And I make more money than you, so I kind of have more say with like the money in the household, right? But then if you make more money than me, how can I really tell you what we doing with this money? You get what? That's why I say she would have more control. No. I don't know if I'm conveying that.
It's
like,
situational.
I guess like can we talk like actual numbers?
oh, we know you're a numbers guy.
It's gonna be easier for me to wrap my head around it. So let's use simple numbers. Like so maybe she makes 100K and he makes 60.
Right.
All right, so now let's make it like relatable to that.
So, well, it's the same example I just gave. If she's making 100K, she's probably putting more into the bills, more to savings, more to everything.
So I'm thinking of family vacations. It's like, yo, I really want to go here. No, we going here. But I wanted to see this. I'm like, we're going here.
Right, like imagine you being like, babe, I want to go to Paris this year. Can we afford it? You know, nah, I actually want to go to Turks and Caicos. That's, you get what I'm saying? Like, so somebody I feel like who is not comfortable in themselves, right, would feel uncomfortable if their woman made more than them because they would be seen as not man enough.
I think that's a small segment, but I could get it. If we're basing it all on fight, like to me, I guess money isn't everything, but it's like, bro, like what else are you bringing to the table other than, because this is like such a small piece of an overall like equation of being together.
But it's so big.
But like, so to expand upon this, right? Like, what if they're both millionaires and one is grossing
And
5,
money
the other
doesn't
one's
matter.
3? It's like,
Right.
you know, like this isn't even relative anymore. But I guess, I mean, I don't know the guys on there. I'd have to do a little more research, but
That's what I want to know.
like who
The
they
people that
are.
say, like, what do you have going on in your life? Like, what's your life like? Like, what type of women are you dating?
I got
for
some baby mamas.
You to have that view. What are they bringing to the table?
So, don't you hate when you're driving around Hartford or just wherever you live and you see a beautiful brand new black car and you can just look directly inside of it? It's like they're just fishbowling.
Yo, that's wild, bro, because you just described Toothless, my brand new car. But I got somebody to fix that. Platinum Wraps. They got everything you need from tints for your windows to wrapping cars and even caskets.
Oh, Platinum Wraps in Bloomfield, where basic is not an option.
Yeah, bro, they'll take care of you. And shout out to Platinum Wraps for being our official sponsor for this season. So let me ask you a question, right? Since we're talking about dating, right? And we have a bartender or mixologist?
Mixologist is just
A bougie way to say bartender?
I guess I don't prefer that term at all. I feel like it's just like
I feel like a mixologist means like you throwing shit around.
yeah. And people that refer to themselves that way, like they take that craft seriously. Like it's about the showmanship for them, if you ask me. And for me, it's just about the recipe and entertaining my customers. And
Which you do a great job. But can I like do a shameless plug and tell them where to find you? No? Okay, guys, she's a great bartender. There you go. So since we're talking about like relationships and men versus women and judging and stuff, what I feel like, you know, when it comes to men, right? It's like one of those things like, and you might even be able to relate this to smoking, right? When like if a man is drinking or smoking, it's like, oh nah, like he's just over there drinking. But if a woman does it, it's unless she's drinking wine, and these are not my views. Let me preface this. Like it's seen as like unclassy or messy if a girl is drunk. You know what I mean? So go ahead. I struck a nerve.
So I guess like being like having worked at college bars and like clubs, there's like a different level to like when a girl gets super drunk and to like when a guy gets super drunk. Cause you know, they're wearing heels. Like they're all dressed up. Like from what I see, like life gets a little more difficult after that 5th shot in that situation compared to a dude who's like, you know, a little bit bigger, can handle the liquor. Because they could drink the same amount, but like typically the woman's gonna get a little more drunk. From what I've seen, like, I mean, guys get obnoxious, rowdy, and like violent. Women get like really woozy. Is that the word? Like just like
I feel like you want to say sloppy without saying sloppy.
oh no, that's the word. Yeah, sloppy. That part. I wasn't even thinking about that.
But that's I was trying to be subjective, but speak on it because you about to rip us both apart.
no, I mean, I understand like that could be a lot of people's standpoint, but I feel like it's not necessarily about like the moment of like a guy being drunk versus a girl being drunk. I think it's more like the lifestyle. Like if a guy goes out every single weekend, all 3 days, he's out Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Oh yeah.
People don't really judge him for that. But if a girl's outside all weekend,
trashy,
bar hopping, like you look at her like a little bit different. Like you might assume she's promiscuous. You think that she's not classy. Like
Really?
I think that gives people judge women more so for that if they like to have fun often versus men. Like if a guy's going out all weekend. Why are you really saying that to him?
So one of my biggest things, like, I don't smoke, right? I don't frown upon it, but I just don't smoke, right? My thing is drinking. But one of my biggest, like, I guess you could say pet peeves is someone who can't handle their liquor, male or female, right? But if I'm talking to a girl, right, like, obviously I want to go out with my lady and we can have drinks and whatever, but the second you become sloppy is when it's like, bro, that's not even attractive anymore because I can handle my liquor. Now, I'm not expecting you to drink as much as me, but I am expecting you, especially at 29 years old, well, me being 29, if you're going to be around me, to be able to know your limits and be like, all right, cool, I'm going to have 2 or 3, and then that's it. You know, and still be able to function, whereas, like, one of the biggest turnoffs, and I'll tell a funny story later, about, like, bro, I had this chick drunk off tequila, right? So, oh, let's do a tequila tasting. Next, you know, we're drinking 3 different tequilas straight, right? And she's like slurring her words, dropping drinks, and it's like, bro, that's just not even cute no more. You get what I'm saying? So, and that could be also reverse. Like a girl could be a strong drinker, and a guy could be the sloppy one. But for me, my thing is like, if you can't handle your liquor, know when to stop. Yeah. And that's where I don't want to say judgment. But that's where my thing comes into play. Like, bro, it's just not even fun anymore.
Why you don't want to say judgment?
Because I'm not judging you because you can't handle your liquor. You
kind of are. No, there's anything wrong with that.
No, I'm just saying you're just not for me. You just can't drink with me. Do your thing, just not with me.
Yeah, I feel that. Who do you think, like, how old are you?
29.
20. All right, cool. We're all around the same age.
Hey, when's your birthday?
November.
Oh, you're not a Gemini. Good.
Scorpio. So all right, we all experienced Up Around the Rocks. Like
those were great days.
No,
you never experienced uppers? Where'd you grow up?
I did. I didn't say I didn't. You guys just put words in my mouth.
No, but you made a face like.
Because I honestly didn't experience it as a 21-year-old. I was in there with my fake ID a couple times.
I mean, they were 18 plus.
Pretty wasted. Oh, why am I thinking about something else?
You talking about uppers over there on the corner by
take
Envy?
That to the grave with you, whatever else
he
was thinking about.
But I was drunk. But I didn't know what I was doing. I was young.
A lot of us didn't.
I was so intoxicated.
So, and I feel like, who do you think, objectively, who do you think parties harder during that stage in their life, between like 18 to 25?
What are you talking about in terms of gender?
Yeah.
I think everyone's going ham.
I don't think it has nothing to do with gender. I think it has more to do with what you're going through or what you've experienced in life. You get what I'm saying? Because, like, you have those. When did y'all start drinking? Like not when did you have your first drink, but when did y'all start drinking?
Middle school.
Excuse me?
Like drinking regularly, or just like?
Yeah, like when was drinking a thing? That's
high school.
That's why I said not when did you have your first drink. When did you start like drinking, like high school?
Probably like my junior
I
year.
was like 18. Like I did a little bit here and there in high school, but it wasn't like.
Right. So I started drinking freshman year of college, right? But you could tell when you got to college, right? The people who were like sheltered and were just like let loose their freshman year. You get what I'm saying? And like at that age, like the uppers age, to get back to your point, you could tell the people that were just like, fuck it, I'm on Pinnacle and UV Blue and getting fucked up in Four Locos versus
Blue.
Yeah.
Whoa.
We all been there.
Wowzers.
You ever seen Blue throw up?
But to answer your question, like I feel like those are the people that are going harder. Like, bro, that freshman year of college, I see more people like fucked up, shitting on themselves and throwing up than just because they didn't know how to handle their shit, male and female. So I don't think it really has anything to do with gender, but like in the UK, their drinking age is 8, or Europe, drinking age is 18. So they learn, think about it. If our drinking age is 21, we probably started drinking at 16, 17, 18, right? Whereas their drinking age is 18, so they're probably drinking
14.
before.
I wrote a paper on this before, and it was basically like asking, so in other countries where the drinking age is younger, is it a benefit to people as far as like alcoholism and abusing alcohol because you have access to it quicker, well, sooner? And
So what'd you find?
I chose the stance of no. Like, I did some research, I read a lot of different things, and I chose the stance of no because basically everything I read talked about how, yeah, they have more access to it, but they have just as high of numbers of alcoholism and abuse of alcohol and drugs as we do. It doesn't really prevent anything at all,
So they just started earlier.
essentially.
But after I graduated college, right, I went and lived in Europe for 3 years, right? And some of the stuff I saw, like drunk people doing then, and maybe I was a little older, so I was in different crowds, but I would never see shit over there that I would see over here.
Like what?
Drunk people in bars throwing up, passing out, like just the simple shit of like, oh yeah, that person's sloppy. And granted, it happens everywhere. Obviously, that's not
So
what
it's
I'm.
less sloppy.
It's less sloppy over there than I witnessed over here. Okay. And maybe I was in a different environment, so I really can't compare the two because I'm comparing college to an adult. You know what I mean? But that was just my experience. I didn't really see as many fights. Obviously, fights happened, right? But you can attribute a lot of fights at bars probably to people just being drunk. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's like stuff like that I didn't really witness over there, where it's like you go out over here, Upper on the Rocks, how many drunk fights? How many nights at Uppers ended because of fights? Uppers got closed because of fights.
Because of killing.
Well, yeah, I didn't want to. But right. But you get what I'm trying to say? Like, I just witnessed the drinking culture is just so much different.
Word.
Yeah. So and I guess this is a loaded question. Why do you guys drink? And it's very broad, but it's broad for a reason.
I mean, now that I'm almost 30, I think when I was younger, you drink because of the effect that it has on you, and you're just trying to like kind of get to a different space. But now I think I drink because I like the taste. Like, I drink cocktails that I enjoy. And just because it kind of takes the edge off, like at times when you might just feel like kind of had a long day. Let me drink this glass of wine.
Just to chill.
Yeah, it's going to relax, yeah.
Just socially, like if I'm hanging out with people, I
Right.
drink. Other than that, like if none of my friends drank, I wouldn't drink.
I feel like you've drank a lot more since you've started chilling with me.
Probably again, like maybe I relapsed. Yeah, because I used to drink far too much. That's why I asked that initial question. Just, I don't know, because I feel like all the guys that I hung out with, like a bunch of athletes, maybe like fraternity folk, we used to drink a lot, which obviously builds up a tolerance. I don't know if we were necessarily escaping anything. We were just like looking to have fun with our friends. I've never been a woman, so do women have that experience, like with your girlfriends? Like, you guys just
Like to escape, or
not to escape, just like you're hanging out and like, yo, let's just drink because one, this is new to us, and just see what happens type of thing. Like, I don't know. I've never been. I don't think I've ever been drinking to. Never mind. I did that. I did it once.
Can you finish that sentence?
I've never drank to escape anything. Other than one time, and it was the worst feeling ever. Remember when Pig's Eye had those big ass glasses?
Cups, yeah,
right. So I was
buy a cup for $10 and you refill it for $1.
Yeah, so I was fighting with my ex one time, in Rhode Island, and she was just annoying the hell out of me, and I was just like, I just don't want to be here right now.
So you drove from Rhode Island to Connecticut for Pig's Eye?
No.
Oh.
So I had a few of these glasses because I used to be a regular, and they had different designs, right? So I filled it up with wine. Mind you, I'm not a wine drinker. I filled up this big-ass Pig's Eye glass with wine and chugged it, and, like, my world just started spinning, and I'm just like, I don't like wine. This is horrible. So then, like, I did that to get away from her, and then she had to end up taking care of me. It was the worst. The worst.
But that's almost the question I was alluding to. Like, what about people that drink to cope? Because I've been in places like, bro, I'm just getting fucked up tonight. You know what I mean? And sometimes that doesn't make it better because now I'm just drunk and really thinking about whatever I'm trying to escape. But sometimes just like anybody that knows me, like I told Lee this morning, I was like, Lee, I barely drank this weekend. She was like, what's barely drank? I was like, yo, I had 6 drinks over the weekend. She was like, I'm impressed. And everybody was like, 6 drinks? I was like, yeah, I normally drink 6 drinks in a night.
At least, yeah.
Right, and I had that over the course of 3 days. So, not that I'm coping with anything right now, but some people, you get what I'm saying, will use drinking as an escape. And some people...
I've seen it firsthand.
So, speak on that. You probably see that often, being a bartender.
And honestly,
the regular
even just in
degulas?
life, like... I think people go through stuff and they can't get over it, and that's like one way that's just going to always make you forget, because once you're drunk, you're not going to worry about what happened to you that kind of like messed you up a couple years ago that you can't get over, or what happened a few months ago that you can't get over. But I know, like, for me, I lost a parent like 2 years ago, 2019. And in the first couple months after that, I was getting messed up. And it's because I wasn't okay, and I just didn't. I didn't really want to deal with reality, you know what I mean?
Right, you didn't know how else to, right.
But I know it was like kind of like a phase. It was like a moment in life for me, so it didn't last forever. You know, I was like, my habits became better. I didn't like rely on that. But some people kind of get into that mindset and it stays there. And like that's where we see addiction. Like that's where alcoholism comes into play.
Right. And maybe this is, I don't know if is alcoholism, is that hereditary or is that?
Could be.
Like, is that a learned behavior? Like,
I know that if you come from alcoholism, like if your parents experience that, then you're at higher risk of it.
So in my family, especially obviously people, oh, Puerto Ricans, all they drink is rum, whatever. When I started drinking, right, my mom used to be like, oh, you're going to become an alcoholic like your grandfather. And it's like, Mom, I'm 18. I just got to college. I'm drinking like to me, it didn't process. But now being older, I understand what she was trying to say.
So that's interesting, right? So she told you this when you started drinking, right? Do you think it would have been more beneficial if she kind of planted the seed and educated you earlier on? It's like, hey, listen, this actually runs in my... So like this actually runs in our family. You know, eventually one day you're going to be able to drink.
Right.
You should drink responsibly. And like, you know, kids here, they're like, hey, yeah, whatever. You fucked up. It's $2 drinks tonight, Mom. Like, yeah, I mean, like, do you think that she did you a disservice? Like, should she have told you sooner, or did you receive it well?
I don't think she did me a disservice. I do attest being an athlete, or, you know, to a lot of my reasons, like, because every year that I would play soccer, right, in college, we had a dry season. So from August all the way to November, we couldn't drink. I would drink one day in that 3.5 months, which was my birthday. You get what I'm saying? But you can't tell me I'm going to be an alcoholic, or I am an alcoholic, if I could stop drinking for 3 months.
Yeah, you can. Because for
at 18 years old, that was my train of thought. You get what I'm saying? But like you were about to say, people relapse and stuff. You know what I mean? But I even, like, to answer your question, my mom would send us to Puerto Rico every summer, right? And when I was younger, I mean, my grandfather would just get drunk. Sometimes he would chase us around the house with a chancla and act crazy, right?
Was he joking or like?
But he was drunk. So whether he was joking or not, as a kid,
you got to see it.
That part. I got to experience that. So now as an adult, I know, a lot of people see me and be like, yo, Jake, were you drunk last night? But yeah, I was fucked up. But you can't tell because I know how to carry myself. But I also know when, like, all right, bro, enough is enough. You know what I mean? Like, I also know, because as a kid I experienced that, where to draw that line. Because not that I have ever gotten to the point that I've been, like, belligerent and sloppy and wilding out to that point. But I also don't ever want to get to that point, or get to the point where I'm dependent on it and like, oh my God, I need alcohol. You know what I mean?
Man, remember when we first started and we used to just have to use a phone as a camera, set it up, run back around, get in place, and just hope for the best?
Yeah, bro. Now we got some quality and reliability behind the camera. Matter of fact, we live in lavish.
Lavish Life Films, the official videographer of the How'd I Get Here podcast.
Book them for all your videographer and editing needs.
So do you think that your experience with your grandfather made you like more aware in your habits?
I think subconsciously. I think sometimes things happen to us that it sticks with us, and you may not really always think about it, but you're like aware of it. You know what I mean? Like, I remember those summers going there, you know what I mean? And then now, like, it sucks because my grandfather's in his 70s, and like my mom's like, oh, well, you know, he needs to go to the doctor, he needs to do this, he needs to do that, right? And I'm like, yeah, but he's 75 years old. If he wants to drink 4 beers and get drunk, like, he's lived his life. You get what I'm saying? So like, me now saying like, hey, if he still wants to drink, now he's not like wild how he was when we were kids. But if that's what gets him through his days at an old age, it's like, bro, let the man live. But I also know like where I am and how much I like to drink to make sure I don't get to that. You know what I mean? Like, that has definitely subconsciously and sometimes consciously been like, okay, remember that. Because not everybody likes people who drink. Not everybody has had a good experience. You know what I mean?
Or what about like honestly addiction? Like,
I mean,
not wanting to get to that.
If I had to stop drinking, I absolutely could.
Forever?
I don't see why I would have to stop drinking forever.
No. To answer the question.
But if there was a good enough reason, like I always said, whenever I found my wife and she gets pregnant, right, for that 9 months, because she can't drink, I'll stop drinking with her for 9 months. I always said that. And if I was really an alcoholic, would I really be able? I feel like I'm in an AA meeting right now. But,
No.
But you know what I mean? Like, if an opportunity, if I went to the doctor tomorrow and they said, yo, you've got liver disease and you need to stop drinking right now, I could stop drinking.
That's fair. Okay. So to go back to people drinking to forget and escape things, right? So I've seen people who like they try to do that, but because I'm their friend, like if they don't like cross the threshold to like I'm fucked up. Damn, I've said it like 3 times. I've been trying not to cuss like that. My bad.
Talk your shit, King.
Like it ends up coming out. So it's like, do you not
mean?
want to be like whatever's hurting them? So it's like instead of like being conscious and talk about it, let's get just torn up.
Sometimes I like to drink because it makes it easier to let it out.
Yeah,
Bro, I done cried a couple times drunk. You ever been in Marvin's room? We all been in Marvin's room.
What is Marvin's room?
You don't know Marvin's room?
I know the song.
You ever been drinking and driving?
Hey,
Drinking.
Hey.
You ever been drinking and driving?
Hey, we ain't gonna answer that question.
But wait, so
you never
explain
been in
Marvin's room to me.
So you know the Drake song, "Cause for the road," and
Yeah.
right? So why are you looking at me? So basically, he got drunk and called his ex, and got all emotional and shit like that. But also, How'd I Get Here podcast does not condone drinking and driving.
Or drinking and driving. No
Yes,
drinking
don't
and
drink
driving.
and drive, and then don't drink or drive. Listen, call an Uber. Uber, you better give us some money for the shameless plug we just did. But yeah.
And if you're a single woman in New York, do not take Lyft. It's dangerous. Sorry. Go ahead.
But yeah, Marvin's room. You get drunk, you call your ex or call your. I've been there.
Never.
You
But
been
you
in.
said it makes it easier to like let it out. That just sounds so unhealthy.
Nah, I mean those are two different things. I like one. It makes it Marvin's room, right? All right, two separate things. If we're gonna talk about Marvin's room, right? Yeah, you get drunk and you just call an ex or call a shorty or whatever. If I'm talking about letting my feelings out towards whatever is going on, right? Sometimes you get drunk, you get emotional, and you just let it. You never been there?
I mean, I've definitely cried when I was drunk a lot of times, but I didn't.
A lot of times?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know, because you get like, and I'm talking about like Not like, oh, I just had a few drinks and having a good time. It's like, I had too many drinks. I probably should have, like, not had those last two. And then your
mind starts to
you.
wander.
Yeah, it gets you.
Right. That is separate from Marvin's room. That is.
So, all right. So Marvin's room is, you don't have to be drinking to be in Marvin's room? Oh, no, that's what he's talking about. He was drinking. He ended up calling his ex or whatever.
Yeah.
But you did say something that is very interesting that could be deemed as unhealthy, is that you drink sometimes to then open up and express yourself. But I don't think you drink to get, like, drunk. You may have a couple drinks.
Wait, are you talking about me in general?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, like, you may have a couple drinks to, like, all right, cool. Like, this layer or this wall is down or it's cracked.
So here's my thing, right? And that's where liquid confidence comes into play, right? There's certain bars and certain places that I will not go to if I'm not drunk. Because I know sober Jake won't have a good time. You get what I'm saying? So
Can't or won't?
Ooh.
I will not enjoy myself if I am here.
But how do you know that?
Because I've done it and didn't have a good time.
One time?
Multiple.
But miraculously, when you drink, you have a good time?
You will not catch me sober at the Russian Lady, Barcelona, Bar Taco, anywhere.
You will not catch me at
Bar
those.
Taco?
Yeah.
Listen, like, at night it gets weird. So, like, yeah, because West Hartford, this is like a relatability thing, right? So you go out in West Hartford, say you're at Bar Taco in the 9 to 10
Bar
o'clock.
Taco, if you guys would like to sponsor us, please do. But hey.
Yeah, them pork belly tacos.
Those Baja fish tacos?
No, the pork belly tacos. Fire.
They're not paying us for this, by the way.
So, yeah, so like when you get there and it's past that 9 to 10 o'clock threshold, you're like, oh, I wonder what happens here at night. And like it turns into a little club. Bro, West Hartford.
It's different.
Scenes are, it's mad different. So like in the summertime, you just see a bunch of bros in polo shirts, khaki shorts, and boat shoes.
Which is neither of us.
Neither of us. Everyone else, they wear the same thing. It's hard to hold a conversation because one, you're one of the few brown folk that are there. And two, I don't want to get into it.
You're like the token brown person.
Yeah, it's just like, oh my gosh, we only see like 10 of you at night. Like, what are you doing here?
So let me ask you a question. Have you guys ever been in a place, right, that you had to drink to take, take the edge off?
I mean, honestly, I don't want to be in a situation where I feel like I have to. If I feel like
Right.
I have to drink to take the edge off to be in that environment, I don't really want to be there.
So back in the day, when we used to pregame, because everyone used to pregame, right? Was it to take the edge off before you got there, or was it to save money?
I was saving money.
Okay.
I was saving money, but I've gone to college parties sober, and it's a total different vibe. It's you being the only sober person there. You like.
I've never been to a college party sober.
Really?
No. Can't
Like you've
think
never
of it.
showed up sober.
Never.
Oh, sober. So, well, not like. I mean, I was an RA in college. I was an athlete. We always weren't allowed to drink, so there were times that I would go sober. But like, even now, there's places that. Granted, I preface all this by saying like there are some people that need to drink to be fun and to have a good time. That's not me, but time and place. You get what I'm saying? So there's certain times that it's like, yeah, if I'm going there, I know I need to drink.
I think people that have to drink to like have a personality like that, they're not okay.
Okay,
They
in what
need-
sense?
So like if you can't go, if you consistently everywhere you go, if you need to have drinks in order to have a good time, if you need to have drinks in order to socialize, if you need to have drinks to have like the courage to like walk into a place that maybe you haven't before, then that's kind of like, in my opinion, I think that's like a issue.
A
That's-
coping mechanism.
So,
Yeah.
so what do you think about liquid confidence?
that if you have to rely on that you need to recognize that you are relying on that.
But and this is me just playing devil's advocate. Some people are one, and maybe this is to your point, not comfortable enough in themselves, right? So they need the liquor to, approach a male or female, right? But two, it's like liquor, and everyone could agree to this, takes the edge off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes you more comfortable.
I think my thought process more so from like my life experience and also being in the industry is that we don't really talk about how much alcoholism affects like people that we know, like in our inner circles, like in our families and everything like that. So I feel like when you are relying on that, to me, like I look at it, I'm like, that's a red flag. You might need to address some things. You might need to change some habits, because I've been affected by alcoholism on both sides of my family. And so I look at it kind of like, where are you going? Like, what's going to be the end path? And then also thinking about people that I know. You've been doing this for years. Now kind of like, you know.
So how
people have been doing that
has...
for years, like, you're not in a good space.
So especially someone that's surrounded... I don't want to assume. Have you been surrounded by, like, alcoholism growing up?
Yes, in a way.
Right, in a way. So someone who has been surrounded by alcoholism and then is now in the industry, how has drinking culture evolved as we grow? You know what I mean? Because we were just talking about like college and being like 18, 19. You drink because it's the cool thing and you want to be at a party, and all I could afford is Burnett's and all that bullshit. Whereas now, Bacardi, you know what I mean? But now, none of us in this room would even look at that stuff. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? So like, and we talked about wine. We talked about like, you know, right now, for some reason, but like I'm gravitating more towards whiskeys. You know, like I love me a good vodka, like a Ciroc and Sprite's my thing, but I've been wanting to go to a lot of more whiskey distilleries. So how has like drinking culture evolved as you get older to get away from like what you were just saying?
I guess I don't really know how to answer that question, but I understand like what you're saying.
Because we not just drinking to just get fucked up anymore.
Yeah.
You know,
are we?
Well, you know what? I think really maybe the point is like
are.
when we're young, before we turn 21, when we're 21, when we're like doing that college like partying and stuff, some people didn't grow out of it.
Yeah,
but like I'm speaking for all of us, hopefully. We did. Like, we went on that journey and we had that fun. But as you get older, you realize, like, you don't have to get fucked up to go to this party. You don't have to binge drink Burnett's. You can drink things that taste good.
And you can afford it, too, because alcohol is expensive. Mm-hmm. Like, I even admit it now. There's times now I was like, damn, yo, I really don't want to go buy that bottle of Henny. Damn, I don't want to go buy that.
I feel like Burnett's was like an $11.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not drinking Burnett's right now.
Back then, I used to drink Burnett's.
No, but now
like
you wouldn't catch me dead
yes.
with a bottle of Burnett's.
If I could find a bottle for $9, yes.
Yes. When I was in college, so this is what we used to do, right? It was like 6 to 8 of us. Everybody would chip in the money that everybody could afford, mm-hmm. right? So if we went to the liquor store with $100, right? We would get like a bottle of Ciroc or Goose or like higher end liquor, right? And then, everything else, the rest of the $75-$50 would just be like, all right, let's get 2 bottles of Burnett's, because for that was $25. Let's get a bottle of UV because that's a good mixer. And then everything else would be chasers. And that would be like a Thursday or Friday. And the 4 or 5 bottles that we got had to last us till Sunday, because we would drink Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You get what I'm... But that was like in college, we didn't know any better.
Yeah, my drinking experience, I'm realizing, is a little different than y'all's. Yeah? Yeah, so I started working up around the Rocks when I was 18. I was working at the Marriott, and I was the youngest one. Everyone there, the average age was like between 25 and 35. So like, if I went to Up Around the Rocks, Russian Lady, 960, Poorhouse, Black Bear, I got discounted drinks. So I got like $3 drinks anywhere I went.
You were probably drinking bottom shelf shit?
No, whatever I ordered.
Like good shit. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. And like all my friends were a little bit older, so like, and we all had money, so it was like, all right, like, what are we getting? I didn't know any better, so I'm like, all right, I guess we're drinking this. I think the cheapest bottle I bought when I was younger was 3 olives, and it was a big.
That's not even that bad.
Yeah, it was like a big bottle for $20.
Right.
Yeah.
You had money. I didn't have no money when I was 18.
So, like, but y'all went to school.
Yeah.
I went to work. So, like,
yeah,
I was outside hustling.